So some of the effects of not really managing the product information well, of course it's higher cost because we spend a lot of time in terms of reuse, we spend a lot of time in terms of scrap, we spend a lot of time in terms of spending additional resources on the development, and this definitely leads to suboptimal quality, right? Because finally rework is nothing but we are spoiling our quality. The product definitely in a traditional product development environment, I mean, it's difficult to visualize the status of where we are now in terms of managing complex and several NPIs which is running in the organization, right? And because there is no collaboration, in most of the cases we never work in a concurrent way. We actually have to depend on maybe sequential, operation process, right? Let him finish the task, then he will come to me, then I will do it, right? The concurrency is definitely missing here. So this is what really leads to customer dissatisfaction if we really try to compromise on the quality and definitely on the time. So where do we finally start, right? Now, we definitely need a solution which will manage the complete product information right from the concept to the delivery in an environment which is a collaborative environment, and everybody get access to the right kind of information at the right time. So this is nothing but we are talking about a PLM solution, and PLM is not new to the industry. You had already seen a lot of organization in India, outside, SMBs, large organization using PLM. The most important thing here is the SMB who are very sensitive in terms of cost, in terms of maybe the resources. The challenges are totally different as compared to direct, and they are looking for a solution which is easy to use, quickly deployable, wherein they can get quick benefits and maybe can be adopted quickly. So this is something which every SMB manufacturer is looking at from a different perspective. So we are not just talking about the product, but whether the product really works as part of the process is very, very key to understand here is. And when we talk about process, what are the different processes that plays an important role in terms of product development, right? Engineering is just not, the product development is just not the baby of engineering. There are a lot of other organizations which also plays an important role here, right? It's a team sport. So we have engineering, then we have sales and marketing. Some of the processes are managed by sourcing department. Then we have manufacturing, of course, responsible for manufacturing related process. Then we have service department that takes care of the services process. And finally, for critical processes like portfolio management, project management, the change management at an enterprise level, this is where management is very much responsible for. So we are just not talking about capabilities, but the capabilities delivered as a part of processes are very, very important here. And this is where PTC is responsible in terms of managing the complete product development environment with some of the best practices in terms of managing this process. So this is what we are talking about. So we have different capabilities, and in the center what we are looking at is a core capabilities of any of the PLM solution, where we are talking about document management, we are talking about BOM management, we are talking about CAD data management, visualization. Outside the box, whatever dark blue color boxes that you see is nothing but a standalone application in terms of product portfolio and project management. We also have a solution wherein we can link the requirement with the core functionality of data management, which is nothing but Windshield requirements link. Then we have a solution for managing manufacturing process, which is nothing but a manufacturing process management. Then we have again a solution for managing supplier and components. The light blue color boxes that you see are nothing but a standalone application, which are desktop application, tools for personal productivity. So we have MathCAD for engineering calculations. We have a Creo, which is a solution for CAD, CAM and CAE. Then we also have some of the quality tools, right? So we have quality management process that can take care of quality management, but we have quality tools. So Relex is the recent acquisition that we had, and we have solutions for managing DFMEA, PFMEA, and other maybe quality related or reliability related issues and challenges. Then the dark green color boxes that you see here are the third party application which can be definitely managed as a part of the complete PLM environment, because product development is not just about using PTC solution, but any organization may also use third party applications, right? So we have a system wherein we can definitely manage all the application that is needed for product development by any of the organization. So we have the complete infrastructure in place to manage or to take care of complete product development. So this is what we envisage: a clean a system which is a single point of truth, and then all the departments really trying to access it and getting the information, and also using this as a collaboration portal, not only among the department within the organization, but also trying to collaborate with their extended ecosystems, right? So this is nothing but we call it as a PTC's product development system. So these are some of the products which I have already shared with you. So we have MathCAD for engineering calculations, we have Creo for CAD/CAM CAE, we have Windchill for PDM and PLM, we have Arbortex, which is a solution for document management. We have Creo, which is a visualization tool, because all the downstream departments never get a chance to look at the data. They have to always work closely with the engineering. But Creo is such an application, it's a very high visualization tool that really helps the downstream departments like manufacturing, like purchase, to actually take a look or a closer look at the product in a neutral format, right? And it can be opened irrespective of any authoring application that is used to create it. And finally, we also are talking about solutions like MPM Link, which is for manufacturing process and also for supplier management. So how normally the SMB adopts the solution, right? So we have worked with a lot of organizations wherein they were using 2D systems, and the scalability is where we moved the organization from 2D to 3D. Then move to the next level in terms of managing the complete information at the engineering department level. Finally, once there is hygiene in the engineering department in terms of managing the complete engineering information, we move to the next level, which is a change management. Then taking it forward in terms of managing the complete product development processes in terms of managing it under umbrella process, which is APQP or NPI. And finally, if the customer deploys the ERP or a MRP solution, that having a integration with ERP or MRP, wherein we directly automatically populate the data from your PLM application to the ERP application. So this is generally is the regular adoption roadmap that we normally follow in the customer space. So how do we start? So this is nothing but what we call as a value-centric process engagement, wherein we are not just talking about capabilities, but if the capabilities are not showing value to the organization, if they are not really targeting to improve the process, if we don't show a roadmap to the customer in terms of what comes first, they are not enough. So it is very, very important that we follow a structured methodology and an engagement process. And the process is nothing but a PDPA, which is a product development assessment. I'll just move to the summary slide in terms of what are we talking about product development process assessment. This is where we interact with the customer at their place. It's a one-day assessment process wherein we interact with the business leaders to understand their top level organization strategies and initiatives. Then we interact with all the key stakeholders of every department. We understand what are the processes that they follow, what are the challenges that they follow in usual product development processes. And then we go back to PTC, we work with our product development team, we work with our product experts in similar industries or vertical, and then come back with a solution and get this solution approved with the stakeholders first, and then share the presentation to the business leader. So this is what is our regular process. So I, in fact, request you, if you really face the similar challenges which we had already shared with you, you can definitely work with PTC. You can, maybe we have a stall there at the end. We also have our partners present here. You can come to us. We will definitely have engagement model for you, wherein PTC can come to your place, spend time with you, understand your challenges, and then come up with a solution which is very, very specific to you. And with this, I would like to end my session. Thank you very much for your time and patience.
Shankar Ayyakar, he's the Manager Technical Parametric Technology. I request
President, Equipment's President, SIPCOT in Irungattukottai Manufacturing Association, Chennai, to honor him with a memento. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, friends. Let me first wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. I think it's a good wish because, last few months, manufacturing industry has been going through some erratic phases. So if wishes can be true, one more wish won't do you any harm. Let me also thank the organizers, because I think it's always a pleasure to come to Coimbatore and address industrialists here, because I always felt that Coimbatore has pride of place as a place of innovative entrepreneurship. So, and to talk on innovation in this place is a privilege. So thank you. I'm going to speak about two questions. The first question is why innovate? And the second question is how to do it. So I'll just share some of my thoughts on this, mixed with my personal experiences. I've been in the automotive industry all my professional life. So much of what I'm going to say has that background. So people who are from other backgrounds might find it slightly different. But this at least will have some authenticity. So let me address the first question. Why innovate? The first answer to that is innovation and competitiveness are interdependent. They're directly linked. World Economic Forum publishes competitiveness index, as you know. And India has a very low figure of 56 or so in the ranking. If you take the top 10 countries in the competitiveness index, you will find that the same countries with one or two difference in the rankings come up also in the innovation index. Innovation index, which is a survey that is done by CII along with another research body, also publishes rankings for innovation index. And you find India, which is 56 in competitiveness, is 51 in innovation index. So it looks to be, directly linked. If a country is very good, or very high up in terms of innovation, it automatically goes without saying that that country is also very good in terms of competitiveness. Competitiveness obviously is very important for success. So we need to be innovative. That's the first answer. The second answer, in the first answer, I want to give you another information. You know, the National Knowledge Commission actually did a survey, 119 companies, I think, of small and medium enterprises, and about same number, 118 or so of large firms. And they did a survey finding out how innovation has helped these companies. And the results are here. In large firms, they find 77% reported increased market share, 94% actually improved competitiveness, 92% said it contributed to greater profits, and 84% reported that it reduced costs. Actually, when I say improvement in competitiveness or when I say greater profits, this is a qualitative term. But actually what has been taken into account is that there must be at least a 25% improvement. That is what has been stated here as a company reporting better profits or better competitiveness. But you look at the SMEs, 76% said that it increased their market share, 84% improved competitiveness, 69% greater profits, and 55% reduced costs. So whether it is a global scene or whether it is Indian scene, you can see that there is a direct link between being innovative and being profitable and gaining market share and reducing costs. So that's the first answer. The second answer is what Mr. Ramasamy said in his speech. You see, we always thought QCD is important, and that will give you a differentiating ability to market your products. But slowly we are realizing that if you don't have quality, you don't have entry anyway. And you know, costs are driven. Many of us are actually tier 1 or tier 2 suppliers to big companies. And what happens is the costs are driven down or dictated by them, because cost-based pricing has given way to target-based cost. He gives you a target. So you have to work towards the target. So cost has not become, has actually lost its glamour as a differentiating thing. And delivery. Because you know, nowadays what OEMs demand, at least in the automotive industry, you keep a small warehouse next to my door and you deliver it on a day-to-day basis. So he is actually does not have any shock of delivery stoppage. You have to insure against that. So delivery has not become a differentiating factor. So you have to have another differentiating factor, and that has to be innovation. That's the second reason why you need to innovate. And the third reason is, you see, if you want to go and capture market share by developing an entirely new product, you need to spend a lot of money. Companies that are innovative in the developed countries, particularly the West European countries, the order of money they spend on new product development is 7 to 9% if it is a new product. And if it is a sea change, if it is a brand new product, it's something like 13%. That's a hell of a lot of money of the sales turnover. But innovation doesn't cost you that much. Innovation is an existing knowledge being used to practical ends to offer something new and use that for capturing market share. 1 to 2% of sales turnover is typically what is spent on innovation. That's the third reason why we need to innovate. And the fourth important reason I want to share with you is that we as Indians are intuitively innovative. You know, the innovative capability in Indians are very, very high. Not only now, since time immemorial. 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, the Vedas were written, not written. Vedas were actually evolved. And to this day, it is being chanted in the same way as it was originally done. And they had a very innovative way when writing was not known. Scripts were not discovered. And those scriptures were actually transmitted by word of mouth. And they found an innovative way of repeating it in a particular fashion and retaining it over ages, over centuries, over millennium. If that is not innovation, what else is? You must have heard about this Brihadishwara temple in Tanjavur, the big temple. That big temple has got a gopuram, and on top of it is a huge stone, single stone, monolith. Tanjavur has no rock anywhere around. If you know that district, for something like 50 kilometers around Tanjavur, there is no rock. And the king managed to bring that stone and take it up to the height of that tower. How would he have done that? There was no crane, there was no lift, there was no way he could have lifted it up to that height. So he found an innovative way of lifting it up to that height. All that I am saying is, I can give examples, all of you know. The very recent example is the automatic voting machine, which is being adopted in the United States. So the innovation is actually basic to us. Somehow we have made it go to sleep. That is the truth. We need to rediscover it and climb up in our innovation index. And then we will become far more competitive than what we are. Okay, now I come to the second question. How do you innovate? I just want to give a few simple principles that in my thinking are the means by which you can innovate. The first principle is do it differently. Whatever be the thing that is currently being done, try and see whether you can do it differently. People give very sort of jargons for this. Some people call it lateral thinking, out-of-box thinking, and things of that nature. I'm simply saying, do it differently. But when you do it differently, make sure that you provide a value proposition. If you do it differently and provide a value proposition, you have a winning solution. Let me give you an example from my own experience. The first example is orbital farming. Some of you may know, in the automotive industry nowadays, there is a law that certain kinds of vehicles must be fitted with ABS brakings. The ABS wheel is what is called a pole wheel. In fact, I was struck with the thought that what you have in this 2020, it has two pole wheels. Two, a pole wheel, two, another pole wheel. And in fact, what you have in the Codicia brand, the outer one also looks like a pole wheel. Pole wheel is nothing but a ring with a lot of teeth, which are identical, but extremely accurately positioned. It's actually the annular spacing that is important than actually the tooth. This has multiple teeth. The number of teeth and all that is a matter of design. I won't go into that. Now, how does it work? It is fitted onto the hub, and there is a